you've got drinks, guys. Make sure you've got plenty of room to train with. Let me know if you need anything adapted in the chat. I'll be giving you alternatives anyway, but if you've got something unique, then let me know. So jump up, get started on the warm-up. Okay, and I'm going to bring back a classic here with squat to hip lift. So that is squat down, straighten your legs, go into hamstring stretch, back into squat, and then stand up. So 3, 2, 1, go. Good. So remember, when you lift your legs, your hips up, you want to try and keep your knees pushing. What am I trying to say? Lift your hips up, but keep your back flat as well. So if you can't get your back flat, don't come up all the way. Okay. Good depth of failure. Relax. Next, you're going to go windmills. You'll stay standing. Remember, start in streamline. Reach down and rotate opposite hand to opposite leg. 3, 2, 1, go. Nice big rotations. So you're trying to match hamstring stretch with thread the needle. Think about how much rotation you get there. Scarlett's gone with the windmill of the hair as well. I used to be able to do that. Hair's too short now. Okay. And yeah, the wider you take your feet, the harder it'll become because you'll have to rotate more. So if you find it too easy, spread your feet a little bit wider and see if you can still meet the rotation. As long as you can get the back of your hand down the outside of your leg. Finish on an even number. Then we'll go into streamline lunge. That's weird. Okay, keep going. Make sure you're trying to get a little bit longer with your lunge after each rep and keep your fingers reaching up towards the ceiling and nice tight streamline. Okay, then stop there. Then you go scat press. So down onto your hands and knees. All the ones, try and take your knees off the ground and push as hard as you can. Get a nice big stretch between your shoulder blades. 3, 2, 1, go. So you're trying to get your spine as close to the ceiling as you can. Sink down. Push up. Let's see if I can. Oh, my hand's not showing up. There. So that bit between your shoulder blades is trying to go up towards the ceiling. Okay. Then stop. Then we're going to go curtsy lunge. Haven't done this one for a while either, but stand up. So stand on one foot. You're going to take your left foot behind you to the side. Go down. So you're trying to get a stretch on the outside of your hip. And stand up. Do a couple of those, and then we'll switch sides. As you're doing it, you want to try and stay tall and try and keep your feet close to each other. Let's see. If you okay, switch sides. Just reading a comment. So remember, people with knee injuries, if you can't do squatty things here, just do a quad stretch, hamstring stretch or quad stretch, and then I'll give you alternative exercises during the session. So finish on an even number. Okay, somebody's doing a really good job staying tall. Staying tall is the big part of this, and then trying to bring your feet close together. Relax. Okay, then we'll go Simon Says for the warm-up game. For the first round, and then bean game, and then I'll talk you through it. So 3, 2, 1, go. Simon Says push up. Okay, Simon Says star jump. But keep going instead of doing the jogs. Okay, Simon says split squat. Okay. Simon says roll over. Simon says sit down. Stand up. Oh, some of you fell for it. Okay, relax. Simon says relax. Then bean game. So remember, we'll start off. Let's start that, Robin. Okay. Some of you are smiling, but you just couldn't contain yourself. 3, 2, 1. String bean. Remember, do each one of them 3 times so your internet can catch up. Then broad bean. Just drop down low. Then baked bean into beans on toast. So go baked bean, stand up, line your back, spread it in a star to alternate them. Baked bean, do 3. So you're going to do 6 of these in total. 1 where you're curled up in a ball, and 3 where you're lying on your back spread out. Then jumping bean. And stop. Nice one. So let's see. So knee injuries, I'll show you how to work around those as we go through. Similar setup to last week. So you've got planche press ups. I've jigged around some of the press ups so you can smash them a bit more on Wednesdays. Don't. Oh, that's a cracking idea. Okay, I'm not gonna say that out loud. That's a really good idea for Simon Says. Okay, so planche press up. Remember, shoulders in front of hands. Got to make it harder. Try and lift your feet up on some bucks. Pullovers. So if you don't have something you can do pullovers with, do inverted rows. But remember, you want something to go over the back of your head. So it's almost like dead bug, but you're holding a bag. Make it harder to go single arm. Or use a band. If you hook it around the door handle, you can then pull it or put it under your feet. Then you've got shrimp squat or RDL. So knee injured people should be fine with that. Everyone knows shrimp squat now, or you're doing RDL, so that's standing on 1 foot. It's a bit like divers, but you don't go all the way into a T shape. So you hold your pullover bag, hold for a couple of seconds, come back up, and just make sure you focus on keeping your back straight. Take a drink, and we'll get going with the planche press up in 3, 2, 1, go. So vary your tempo if it's too simple. We're starting to put your feet up a little bit higher, even if it's just a buck. Flavio's trying to look underwater, but is that a pool background, Flavio? Okay, halfway through. Good consistency, Robin. Nice one. Claudia, love your elbow position. Good job. Let's see. Barnaby, if you copy me, it's lie flat in your stomach. So start from here. Spread your feet out nice and wide. And just do the pushing up bit. That's it. So just start all of your push-ups from there. Relax. Pull over. So grab your kit. Oh no. So pull over or inverted row in 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see, people that have got a bench. So let's see, Luke, where are you? Yeah, Luke, if you want, so you could do this off the edge of the bench. So all the guys that do this in the gym, if you do it off the bench, you've got a bit more range to work through. But the exercise is pretty much the same. Okay, that's halfway through. So switch over if you're doing single arm. Remember, I've got a medicine ball, don't worry about the weight for it. But if you're doing them as pullovers, it's weird because the slower you do it, the more you need to try and stabilize your shoulder blade. 10 seconds left. Pretty sure in lockdown one when I hurt my shoulder, this is the one that did it. So it feels really easy, but if you don't think about your shoulders, you're more likely to hurt them. Relax. Shrimp squat or RDL. Shrimp squat, remember, use the sofa or use a ledge as much as you have to for support. 3, 2, 1, left leg, off you go. So, Lauren, great audio. Slow it down a bit. So you want to try and go down really slow and then up really slow. If you're finding it too easy, if your back position's really good, that's the next step for it. Barnaby, very good. So the next part, to make it harder, I think a lot of you are ready for this now, is to hold your ankle while you do it. Raf, that was a really good example of what I'm talking about. So when you do your shrimp squat, try and grab your back ankle and then stand up. That's where you might need a hand by holding on to something. So if I was going to use my armchair here, I could go right foot forwards, left foot back, and then push down. Relax, switch legs, hurt your knees. Then you're going to do RDL. So if you look at some of the other screens, 3, 2, 1, go. So RDLs are standing on one leg, hinge forward. So you can either keep your legs straight, so you look like a T, or you can bend your knees so your foot's pointing to the ceiling like this. And the slower you do it, the harder it will be. It takes a lot more hip stability. So it'll help with things like keeping your hamstrings flexible, working on your body coordination as well. Everyone else you'll be on your other leg doing the shrimp squats. I think trying to progress to holding your ankles one of the harder things to do because you've got to have really flexible quads to pull it off. So that's why it's worth putting a lot of effort into. 2, 1, stop. Okay. So you're on break now. So remember with the shrimp squats, it's quite a good idea. Make sure you've got some padding for your knee because sometimes that will affect how well you do it. So I'm trying to do it just on the carpet. You end up standing up funny just to avoid hurting yourself. So roll a mat up if you've got one or use a pillow. Planche press up in 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see, I'm going to call people out. So Robin, if you got a book, use that to lift your feet up. Sophie, same for you. Just because I want to see what happens. If you're comfortable with your shoulder position, you might find it harder. Oh no, I've lost you. I've just called you out. Tell you what, guys, your elbow positions during the push-ups are looking amazing though. If it starts to get too much, you can just go into normal press-ups or take a bit more rest in between. See, Savannah, if you start on the ground, so lie flat on your stomach, keep your elbows pointing behind you and then spread your feet a little bit wider. Yep, and then just push yourself off the floor. Perfect press up. So that's where you start them all from, okay? Just lie on the ground and do the push up until it feels easier. Relax. Pullovers, ready to go in 3, 2, 1, go. That's quite a good one for people that have sore elbows as well. If you just do pushing up off the floor, that tends to make it easier for your joints. So lie on your back, try single arm. If you want to do Aleknas as well, if you've got 2 bags, you can put them on your hands and your feet. So that you're trying to work on your upper body and your lower body stability. So that means one object for my hands, and then another one for my feet. And you're doing both at the same time. They don't both have to be weighted. You could have your school bag for one end and then a foam roller for the other. Up to you. Good pace there, Hannah. Good job. 3, 2, 1. Stop. Into shrimp squat. I'm going to try and take my own advice here. Grab a massive pillow. Okay. Left leg. 3, 2, 1. Go. Let's see. Claudia, are you okay with shrimp squats? So we'll start down on one knee like this and try and stand up with one leg. Yep, perfect. And then if you can, try and hold your back foot. So if you look at me quickly, start here, hold your back foot, and then stand up. Nice. Good progression. If it's too hard, then you can push down on the sofa. So I'm going to use the coffee table here. Try to. 10 seconds left. And remember, the hardest version after that is to hold one foot with 2 hands. Relax. Switch over. I'm definitely nowhere near that. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Oof. Okay, a lot of you have the same thing that I've got. Your knee keeps popping forward. I don't really have a solution for that. But if you're able to stand up, keep going with it. It just takes practice. And like I said, if you don't have some cushioning, use anything you've got, because it definitely makes it easy for you to focus on the skill instead of trying to avoid hurting your knee. Okay, a couple of seconds left. And stop. I'll have a think about the knee thing because I do it constantly. And then, what, are we switching legs? No, we've done one more round. So planche press up. So remember, if you're starting to struggle, guys, just lie flat on the floor and start them back to front. 3, 2, 1, go. Because you can always make it harder if you need to. But that tends to be the sticking point. So if you have to, flatten the floor. Oh, where are my feet? So make sure your feet aren't touching, spread them wide. And just push off the floor. That's more important for helping you build strength in the back of your arms, where it's going to help your swimming the most. Like that's speaking generally across most squads. So Hannah, try that for me. Lie flat in your front. So stomach on the ground, make your elbows point down to your feet and just push off the floor. Nice. There you go. Perfect. So you don't even have to worry about a lot of going down. Just relax to the floor and push up from there. Christian, great job. Okay, relax there, guys. And that's a good way of learning the other one. So if you maybe like normal push-ups, but you struggle with wide push-ups, that's a good way to practice it. Pullovers in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, good. So remember, whatever you can pretty much do this well with anything you do rows with. Because if you're strong enough to do rows with it, you're strong enough to do a pullover with it. See, Veronica looking good. Try single arm if you can. As long as you're not worried about dropping it. If you think you're going to lose it, then just throw it to the side. Dylan, good pace. Harry, try and come down slow. Up at good speed, like up and then down super slow. There you go. 10 seconds. Oh, Lucas has a Swiss ball. Great idea. And 3, 2, 1, stop. Pull, nope, just done those. Shrimp squat. So last round of shrimp squats for today. Remember, you don't have to do 3 full rounds. If you think you need to switch to RDLs, be my guest, as long as you do it well. 3, 2, 1, go. But you could pair them off. You want to be really creative. So you could go like 1 shrimp squat into an RDL. Back down. And then make sure that you go down slow. It's another part of the shrimp squat you can practice. So when you're standing up, go back to the floor on one leg really slowly. I'll start helping build strength for your pistol squats. So 25 seconds left. So you got really good at standing up and controlling it, and try and reverse yourself back down to the floor, even if you're holding your foot. Okay, 3, 2, 1, stop. Good. One more round, switch legs. 3, 2, 1, go. So you want to start working on knee stability and coordination. If you're struggling, if I'm making no sense, have a look at the camera. So stand up and then go back down to the floor just as slow as you can. Keep your back flat. If you need a hand to get going, you can stamp your front foot as well. So let's see. Sophia, you're the first person I've locked eyes onto there, so give it a try. Hold that barrier, lift your left foot up off the ground, and then slam it into the floor. Was that a little bit easier? Yeah, okay. Just helps you get a bit of momentum, guys. So Lucas, same for you. Just because I'm watching. Cool. Robin, give that one a shot, because you've got a good setup going there. So kneel down. Yeah, there you go. Good control. So Robin, try one more, but slam your foot. And stop. Okay. I'll remember that for next time. Switch legs. 3, 2, 1, go. Well, we've done both legs. Oh. I need stronger coffee before the video. Right, you're on break now. Part 2, core focus. You've got shoulder taps today. So remember. Oh, hi, Lexi. Right. So shoulder taps, you want to come up slow. And today, I want you guys to try and practice as best you can, going down slow as well. So a lot of you have got better at this bit, but then it's still like trying to return back to 2 hands. If you have to, spread your feet and have a look at other people on the camera. If you got someone else in the room, just try and beat them. Then sit-ups, I brought those out of Friday. And jumping mountain climbers, you got 2 options. So the ones that we've done where your feet come forward and back together, you could also go side to side. So that, or you can be really creative and try and do both. So out, in, forwards, back. Up to you. There's one more, but it's reverse plank. So you know what it looks like. Get yourselves ready, finish your drink. I'll give you the alternative when we get there for knees. 3, 2, 1, go. So shorter taps. If you don't want to do mountain climbers, you can do bicycle crunch. Okay, good advice here is if you have a clock, like a loud tick. So if you go like TikTok, I hate doing that. I get a metronome going in the back of my head, but that controls your pace a little bit. And then the longer you go for, the more you can think about maybe going up for 2, down for 2. So like up, down, down, up, down, down. Okay, we're currently doing shoulder taps. Couple of seconds left. Pace is looking a lot stronger there, guys. Well done. And relax there. Number 2, sit-ups. So sit-ups or crunches if it hurts your lower back. 3, 2, 1, go. If you want to try a harder one, go with feet elevated. So it doesn't have to be very high. You could even put your ankles on a foam roller, like that kind of height. If you're at the point of going streamline. And try and go. So if you're doing a lot of arm swing, try and have your arms across your chest as well. So if you watch me, it's much easier if I throw my arms compared to having them held still. Ten seconds. Okay, relax. So if you're going for feet elevated, you've got to have them on a surface, not just in the air, so you can still get a full sit-up done. Let's see, jumping mountain climbers or bicycle crunch. 3, 2, 1, go. So bicycle crunch, no impact on your knees. You're just on your back. Otherwise, you're doing jumping mountain climbers. So bring your feet, both feet towards you, or you can try feet side to side, like you're doing a star jump. If you want to really challenge yourself here, try and hold your hips in the same position. So maybe put a foam roller or something light on your back, or a cushion. Cushion's probably a good one to start with. Let's see, what I do is my hips always click. If it's not painful, don't worry. Okay, 3, 2, 1, relax. Then reverse plank. So that's this one. 3, 2, 1, go. Let's see. So I assume when you say this one, you mean the mountain climbers. If they hurt your hip, then just do bicycle crunch. If that still makes your hip click, then you could do hollow hold. So that way you're staying in one position. Hips aren't moving, so they shouldn't click. So Veronica, go hips a tiny bit higher if you can. Yep, perfect. And if you want to make it harder from there, just lift your toes up. So the coaching cue I gave some of you last week was if the floor was wet and you wanted to keep your toes dry, you'd need to lift them up. So go with that. Just make sure you do it on a stable surface. So no standing on med balls. Okay, that's it. And then the further forward your feet go, the more you'll feel it in the back of your leg. So you want to try and keep your heels under your knees. Let's see. Keep going and stop. Well, 2 more rounds. So reverse plank. I need to find myself. So you pretty much want your toes up like that, rather than press down. Make sure your knees are under your knees are over your feet. The further back you go, the more you feel it in your hamstrings. If they're behind you, you're going to feel it stretching your quads too much. 3, 2, 1, shoulder taps. thing, just because it's lying there, I've got an alternative for you if you want to try it. If you set yourself up so that that kettlebell's underneath you, and that way you can just pull it side to side. Have a go. Same idea. You want to keep your hips flat, keep your shoulders flat, and then pull it with the opposite. So when you're going to go to the right, you have to put it on your left side, so you pull it across you. And then when you want to take it to the left, you have to reach your hand underneath you. That's it. And then the longer you take pulling, the harder it'll be. Couple of seconds. 3, 2, 1, stop. Next is sit-ups. So a few seconds off, grab a drink, then 3, 2, 1, go. So the best way to make this more challenging for some of you is going to be going down slower than you came up, for sure. Oh, Edie's gone with both the elevated and slow down. Good job. Okay. Good job, Ophelia. Try and come up a little higher if you can. Serena's going double slow. Looks like you're frozen. That's really impressive. Savannah's trying to play catch up. That's really, really good. 20 seconds left. Oh, Finn's really going for it. Streamline. So you're on level with Robin now. Robin, I'm not sure you can do anything to keep up with that. How can you make it harder? 3, 2, 1, and stop. I don't even know what to suggest. Right. Jumping mountain climbers or bicycle crunch or hollow hold. 3, 2, 1, go. So if you are doing the jump, you don't have to take both your feet with you like we do with the burpees. You can just spread your feet like you're kind of doing star jumps. And then I'm going to try and do it with a cushion on my back to see if I can keep my hips flat. Yeah, that's way harder. Probably need some cushioning for your toes as well. So whether you're doing bicycle crunch or hollow hold, if you have to, if it hurts your hip. So bicycle crunch means there's no impact, but if moving your knee up and down makes your hip click, just do a static hollow hold. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, Will, Emily, who did more? Emily, no, she beat you this time, Will. Emily, claim the credit first. Okay, then we'll go reverse plank. 3, 2, 1, go. Robert, are you going to rest your cat on your stomach while you do it? Okay, 15 seconds in. Let's see. So remember, with this, you're trying to work on shoulder mobility. So people that have tight chests, this is really good for that. If you want to, you could try and do it single leg. See how that works out. So Jess, you're in a great position there. Try and keep it going. Bring your feet a tiny bit closer to your head. Perfect. That's absolutely perfect. So now if you want, try and go 1 foot up, but without dropping your hips. So you don't want to come down. You've got to keep pushing your hands into the ground. And then just switch over. Okay. 3, 2, 1, stop. No, don't worry, Robin. That's my cat was looking at the radiator earlier on. I was tempted to show you, but I didn't want to get in trouble. So that it's on, the cat just sits and stares at it like this. Okay, one more round. So shoulder taps. 3, 2, 1, go. So final round. So let's see, variations. If you're struggling now, you could go with feet march instead. So it's less about shoulder stability, more about your core, but that's completely up to you. Or you could just do press up plank hold. So you could just stay like this, concentrate on squeezing your core. Otherwise, just stick with that. Our original goal today was to try and go down as slow as we come up. Spend as much time on one hand as you can. So Christian, if you can, try and go a little bit slower. It's like up for a second, down for, yeah, perfect. Try and stick with that. Okay, Dylan, try and go down a little bit slower. Like up and then like 3, 2. There you go, that's the one, relax. Then sit up. Okay, 3, 2, 1, go. So yeah, feet up to the ground. If you want, you can try and do them in streamline. Ugh, too much extra weight. If double straight, well, if a full streamline's too hard, you can try and do it with one hand over your head and then just alternate. If you've got your feet up off the ground, oh, there you go, Luke. Perfect. So you want them on something rather than floating. So that might mean doing it from here. Just feet on the coffee table without kicking over my tea. It's just slightly different from a V sit-up kind of position. 3, 2, 1, relax. Good job. Some good experimentation going on there. Into jumping mountain climbers. So put your foam rollers on your back and try and see if you can keep your hips as flat as possible. 3, 2, 1, go. So this is a great way of trying to make it a little bit more challenging, but without you working harder and getting hurt. So just have a play with it. Remember, if bicycle crunches hurt your hip or anything, just go into a hollow hold. That's just static, lie on your back, shoulders and feet off the floor. Like that. And then try and keep your hips below your shoulders while you're doing the star mountain climbers. So Luke, for you, that would be below your bench. Yeah, there you go. Good job. 10 seconds. And relax. It's a heroic effort, Fim. Keep working on it. Right, last one. So reverse plank. 3, 2, 1, go. Trying to think of other ways. So remember, always remember the good bits at the end of the session. Reverse plank. If you want to work more on your upper back mobility, you can do this exactly like Finn's doing it because he's remembered before me. Have your feet elevated. So as long as I'm in this position, it all counts as a plank. So I could try and go bent legs, straight legs, single leg. Could try and go single arm. The idea though is that you're going to use your hips to keep your body stable and your shoulders. It would just affect which muscles work the most. Marches work great. 3, 2, 1, stop. Finn, where do you feel that one the most? Yeah, exactly. So because your hips have to work extra hard, I think you all know what glute bridges are. And you all know when I joined the club, I got rid of them because they were too easy. Like, I'm pretty sure you could take anyone off your street. Like your great-great-great-grandparents could do a glute bridge. You guys are trying to be competitive swimmers. So you've got to learn how to make your hips nice and strong and keep the front of your hip flexible. So we know we do a lot of reverse plank stuff, but because we're not swimming at the minute, you need to do a lot of things like that so that when you run and cycle, those muscles on the front of your hip here don't get too tight. So that's why you've got to try and make those as challenging as possible, and you can use each other for motivation. So shoot off if you have to, follow the stretches on the sheets, and we'll see you tomorrow. Everyone else will do a quick cool down together. So quad stretch. 3, 2, 1, go. And then when we're done, if people have anything they need to talk to us about, you can do. So almost at the start of your shrimp squat position. If you're doing this one, and you want to make it more of a hip stretch as well, make sure your front heel is in front of your knee. Oh, it hurts too much. Always make sure you've got cushions. Younger ones, you might not notice it now, but when you get older, you definitely will. So you see, that's the difference between two of them. Switch sides. Okay, have a good night, everyone. Let's see, Laura, Manon, Edie, Poppy, good job. So you're going to switch over, stretch around the quad. And especially people that have got knee injuries, if you're doing reverse plank holds, those are really good for helping your hip flexors. If they can open up a little bit, it might help with your knee pain, maybe. It's just another box to tick. Stop there. Then we'll go block stretch. So I think we worked on this one on Friday, so we'll see how it's looking. So remember, your feet, front foot and your back knee have to be pretty close together like you're on a block, and make sure your back stays flat. So use your camera if you have to. Okay, good. So some of you are using the camera. That's brilliant. Your objective now that I've told you what it is you've got to try and remember what I told you so that you can correct it yourself before I jump in. So switch legs. Hand out that's aimed at you. Good job. Good use of the camera. Okay, glad you're enjoying it, Luke. I did chat to Demi, and she is going to make an appearance this week. She's sleeping right now. No, she would have been here today. Okay, see you later, Holly. Good to hear from you. Switch legs. So you should be on your second leg now and trying to keep your back nice and flat. There's as much a skill. This is your block position, and your roundy back has got as much to do with your skill. What am I trying to say, guys? It's skill. So you've got to practice stretching from that position. It's not always down to having tight hamstrings. Okay, stop. So that's why if your squad is doing this in pre-pull, I'd say most people in this club can figure that one out pretty early on, but you might struggle with this position. So this is the one you want to aim for. Okay, then we'll go hip stretch. You choose. We've covered a couple of hip stretches, so you do whichever one you think you need, and I will coach it. Okay, good one, Hannah. Remember, if you want to make that one harder, you can turn your toes up to the ceiling. It might not make much difference, but that's just one option you've got. So remember, you've got, yep, Sophia's gone with pitch and stretch, another good one. So is Luke. Luke, sit up quickly. Awesome. If you can, try and push your heel a bit further away from you. Yeah, that's it. Oh, you can shuffle backwards. That's brilliant. Is that harder? Same? It looks harder. Okay, switch sides. Okay, I'm glad you're enjoying it, Jess. It really means a lot to us. So have a good night if you're shooting off. You're stretching your second side now. Dylan, do you feel it more on one side than the other? Yes or no? Does it feel the same? Good hinge movement, Jess. Really good. Okay, stop. Should be evens now. Go for lats. So lat stretch. Remember, if you've got something to lift your hands up on, go with that one. So easiest way to set up, Superman position. Put your hands up on the side and then sit your hips back towards your feet. So rather than just pushing your head through your arms and rounding your back, sit backwards. It's actually really good if you've got a foam roller, because then when you sit back, your arms will roll out in front of you. But Jess, that's perfect, that little box. Think of what's interesting to me, guys, is like how much people will charge for equipment. So we were in, Demi was trying to make wedding favors the other day. So we went to B&Q and you can get a 20 kilogram bag of concrete for £4. So I'm not saying go and buy tons of concrete, but it's weird. If you wanted to buy a 20 kilogram weight, it would cost you like £100. No joke. Okay. Chest stretch. Think about how many pairs of trunks you could buy for £100. Okay, chest stretch. 3, 2, 1, go. Nice one. Danny and Sophia have gone with my favorite. And Hannah. Everyone's doing my favorite one. Okay, a little bit more, then switch sides. But you're all pretty set up there. I would just say sit backwards and forwards a bit. So remember, if you're here, rock backwards and forwards and see if the stretch changes. And twist. So Sophia, good job with the twisting there. Let's see, Hannah, while you're there, that's it. Make sure your forearm's flat on the sofa, and then try and rotate towards the camera. Yeah, do you feel that more? Yep, cool. And while you're doing that, then move your hand. So like here, twist, hand a little bit higher up, twist. So it's kind of based on where your elbow is compared to your neck, I suppose. Like, is it below your neck, in line with your neck, or above your neck? Okay, that'll do. So if you've got something that's really worrying you with training, stick around, we can have a little chat. If not, go get your food, etc., and we'll see you tomorrow.